Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some pretty crazy news where we're now actually seeing video games, and mainly for specifically Xbox and PlayStation, being targeted in an open letter basically asking for banning of all video game companies and esport platforms overall in regards to the ongoing situation going on throughout the world. Now, I'm sure you guys know there's been a lot of kind of bad news floating around, especially when it comes to, well, the world, different types of countries, pandemic, and everything throughout these past, especially this past week or so. And it's kind of crazy news because, like I said, they're trying to go now literally ban consoles and games in general. So we have some pretty high government officials basically pleading and begging for this, and as well, just some kind of crazy news where the fact that I never would have thought I'd be able to go have a clickbait title basically like gaming is literally being banned throughout the world as like an actual non-clickbait title. So kind of crazy. This whole world's been flying flipped upside down these past few weeks and probably past 2 years especially. So I want to go talk to you guys about this news. And now, of course, I am not the easiest news to go and cover when it comes to YouTube itself. So as always, just for my own kind of like my request for you guys, just always try to be nice and cordial in the comment section down below, and of course as well. So please, if you guys can, as well, I'm sure you guys usually my YouTube, you guys are usually always awesome. So there's also kind of funny memers too as well. So just as always, just be a little bit more respectful on this one as I cover up the news as well. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on and for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. And also make sure you guys enter in the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway up in the Twitter link down below. And also follow up on Twitter, Twitch stream as well. Amazon links to the PS5 Digital Console Controller. Same with that, Weeble and Coinbase down below. And let's go and dive in the video itself. And definitely leave a like if you guys just want to in the first place. So as I mentioned, we're actually seeing some kind of big stuff when it comes to Ukraine. Now, I'm sure you guys know about the Ukraine situation with everything with going on in Russia. It's just got a sad situation and a very, well, stressful situation for pretty much everyone in the entire world. A lot of people are kind of watching, kind of being on guards, and there's been a lot of things, different types of, like, basically there's them fully cutting out stuff, putting in hardcore sanctions, and now the next kind of big sanction that basically we're trying to go and see is for them to go call upon Xbox, PlayStation, all game development studios to now finally go and stop and block Russia support. So let's go talk about this and talk about everything going on over here in this situation over here. Sorry, as I click up the link itself for that one, but as you see this lovely lady. So basically with Ukraine calls on Xbox, PlayStation, and all game development companies to block Russia support. With the Deputy Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov also calls on to the esports platforms too as well. So just letting you guys know on this one, so kind of go watching this over from IGN and Joe itself with their own kind of editor's note too, and that's kind of what I kind of did in my start of my video. Just make sure you guys are, you don't want to go be making anyone upset. Just kind of, if you guys want to talk about the game, you guys totally can. Just always try your best to be respectful for this one. But it's very intriguing news to go and see this, where Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov, which I maybe said wrong, if I did, my apologies, has called on all game development companies and esports platforms to temporarily stop support for Russia and Belarus, and directed an open letter to Xbox and PlayStation in particular. So on his Twitter account, Fedorov tagged Xbox and PlayStation. You get he's literally calling out literally PlayStation and Xbox themselves. As you guys know, console games and everything is kind of just they're kind of the bread and butter when it comes to this stuff. So basically, he tagged Xbox and PlayStation. We'll kind of go through the post in a second, saying, "You are definitely aware of what's happening in Ukraine right now. Russia declared war not for Ukraine, but for all civilized world. If you support human values, you should basically go and sanction the Russian market in regards to games and trying to go ban games all around. The open letter calls for companies to temporarily block all Russian and Belarusian accounts, temporarily stop the participation of Russian and Belarusian teams and gamers in all international esports events, and cancel all international events holding on the territory of Russia and Belarus." And while not explicitly mentioned, Fedorov also has likely included Belarus in the request because it's a tactic support of the Russian invasion. So let me go maybe give you guys the actual post itself over here really quick. You guys can go and see the status for this, where they do literally go and tag. They built this is not clickbait or anything else. He literally himself tagged both Xbox and PlayStation, their physical accounts themselves, right here, saying, but as we just kind of quote over here, as you guys can also see on the post, which will make it a little bit bigger over here, where to all game development companies and esports platforms, the Russian Federation has carried out a deceptive and outrageous military attack on my country. Just imagine, in 2022, cruise missiles attack residential neighborhoods, kindergartens, and hospitals in the heart of Europe. The armed forces and citizens are defending Ukraine to the end. The whole world is repelling the aggressor through the impose of sanctions. The enemy must suffer significant losses, but we need your support. In 2022, modern technology is perhaps the best answer to all of this stuff, too, as well. So, all the bad things going on when it comes to Russia, too. So, this is all kind of tagged out over here to go and just want to try their best to get rid of everything they possibly can. They want them best to go get rid of all this, and they basically go and say, In his quote itself, and I appeal to temporarily block all Russian and Belarusian accounts, temporarily stop the participation of Russia and Belarusian teams and gamers in all international esports events, and cancel all international events holding in the territory of Russia and Belarus. We are sure that such actions will motivate the citizens of Russia to proactively stop the disgraceful military aggression. So, crazy. Like, this is literally, like, the situation itself. Like, it's always kind of weird as a YouTuber or content creator to kind of go and say things specifically, because you never want to go step on any toes or something bad. But this whole situation is a very crazy and very kind of nutty situation where, like, gaming's a big thing. Gaming is, like, one of the things I do on the day-to-day to kind of just keep my life, intact at the time. So I make all these videos and always streaming on Twitch and stuff. But it's crazy to go and see that now they're literally wanting to go ban gaming. Now, it can kind of go either way. I'm sure people both have political sides of why this would be good, why this would be bad, why maybe the actual normal folks themselves would be obviously like kind of taken advantage of in terms of what's going on with the government itself, which is not their call. But on the reverse side too, like as they even stated, they kind of want the people in the world to go and stand up against it, because they obviously don't want this, so they want to stand up against it. So it's like kind of the two big sides on that one. So like I said, try not to be like too argumentative or anything bad, etc., etc. I'm kind of just like laying down like everything, all the information for it. But it's crazy to go and see that they literally do want games. They want gaming, online gaming, tournaments, and everything all being fully banned. And that's the one big thing is, don't forget there's certain games out there, say like CSGO or even like Dota 2, especially on PC, that are very, very popular games and known for the Russian audiences and Russian kind of like just a lot of game players in the first place. So it's very, very crazy to go and see on this. So as well, since the beginning of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, many parts of the games industry have actually been throwing their support behind Ukraine too as well, including a number of fundraising efforts for the humanitarian organizations. And we've also actually seen also some other various games too also being banned, which I may want to go cover up in a separate video, because it's just like, I'm more on the gaming side. Like, I'm not a big fan of covering, like this type of stuff. Like, I don't want to be like, talk about the ins and outs. But a lot of this stuff does affect gaming, and is like, this is literally them calling out Xbox and PlayStation. So I feel like it's news enough, because it's like in our ecosphere and in our like game itself. You know what I mean? So for that, however, we've also seen the platform Little Orpheus delayed too as well, due to its Soviet-related storylines. We're even seeing some games being delayed, which is kind of makes sense. It's not like just not a good time. It's really not a good time. So we've yet to see unrelated games being pulled from a release from Russia. So that's kind of a big thing too, where things like, you see like the things over here for the film industry, which has seen Disney, Sony Pictures, and Warner Bros. Pull movies from release in the country. So that's why it kind of makes somewhat sense for this, because if you're already seeing Sony Pictures, obviously Sony itself, already being like, yeah, for right now, we don't want to support this, we don't want to be involved with this, we don't want to be in the country, we're kind of like, we don't want to be around this, which, I mean, I totally get. So I could probably go and see someone like Sony and PlayStation, obvious, because, PlayStation's owned by Sony. Or yeah. So basically for that one, like, you can see, because if Sony Pictures already out, it makes sense on the PlayStation 5 to maybe even lock down, like, maybe the online support, not release any more brand new games, and basically maybe stop even some restocks when it comes to consoles going on in. Same thing, too, as well when it comes to Microsoft. But I do think one of the bigger things, though, for Microsoft is more on the Windows side, because Windows is kind of on pretty much every PC. As you guys know, I do think that'd be a little bit more on the influential side. But when it comes to gaming and gaming as a whole, gaming is a big thing everywhere, throughout the entire world. PS4s were selling globally. Xboxes as well, selling globally. When it comes to games on PC, everyone, like a lot of people are playing all these various games. Even games that are popular here in America are also able to be played in other regions too on top of that. So it's crazy to go and see. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if you guys want to comment if you guys support this or not, because like I said, it kind of opens up to like the weird can of like the weird political talk and all of that. But this is kind of crazy news to me. Like, I really think this is literally banning video games. Like, just the title of that alone, like, that's what's making me giggle on just how crazy everything is. Like, it's like a whoof. Like, like I said, I'm only kind of giggling on just how just obscene this year has been already so far. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said, we are now literally seeing like the government themselves calling for a ban, calling for these games to not just be allowed, not to be sold, etc., like more so on the sanction side. Which, once again, I mean, like, it's weird for me. That's like my bread and butter. Like, that's literally like what I wake up and I'm like, I don't mind playing a few games. I want to check out some reviews. I want to do some stuff on Twitch. I want to make some YouTube videos and talk about games and reviews and everything else. So it's a crazy situation, especially when they call out Xbox and PlayStation like by name in this post. So, like I said, if you guys want to give your thoughts and comments, feel free to. Just make sure you guys are polite on it. It's just a very, very sad situation going on. No one ever wants to deal with this. No one wants to deal with like fights and wars throughout the kind of world. It's just not fun. So, like I said, just try to be a little bit more respectful in the comments down below. But I figured this would be kind of big news to go and cover, so I wanted to go cover it for all you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Also check out the Twitter link down below to enter in for the PS5 giveaway itself, and also follow down below Twitch stream if you guys want to hang out there. Amazon links too as well for the PS5 digital console controller, that Weeble, and that Coinbase on top of that. I'll see you guys later on throughout today for a bunch more videos. Love you guys.